Imagine this.
They don't boo failure here. They throw parades for it. Your greatest humiliation isn't quietly hidden away in shame. It's worshipped by thousands, broadcast on every screen across the shining city, celebrated louder than any victory, any achievement, any success you could possibly dream of. Once you truly experience it, you might never want to succeed again. Welcome back to AlterFlekt, where we peel back the veil and step into realities that refuse to let you go. Tonight, we enter a world where failure has been completely flipped into the ultimate triumph. Stay with me, because once you see how they celebrate failure here, you may never look at your own the same way again. You push through the veil and the world changes around you. Welcome to a reality where failure isn't the end, it's the main event. Every single screen glows with the day's greatest flops in stunning, high-definition detail. Schools no longer teach success, they teach children how to fail with real style, creativity, and dramatic flair. Companies reward their most spectacular disasters with promotions, massive bonuses, and public parades through the streets. Just imagine it for a moment. Your worst day turned into public glory. No shame, no hiding in embarrassment, just pure, roaring applause for every beautiful, perfectly human mistake you've ever made. But here's what they don't tell you when you first arrive. Would you embrace those cheers with open arms? Or would you begin to wonder what happens when you're celebrated for failing forever? Mornings in this world start with failure announcements blasting across every speaker in the city. Your alarm isn't a simple buzz, it's the sound of the entire city cheering someone's latest magnificent collapse. People check the leaderboard like it's the most important thing in their life. Who failed the biggest last night? Who turned their painful breakup into performance art? Who lost everything in the most creative and spectacular way possible? The winners get free meals, sponsored outfits, even romantic dates arranged by the city itself. Your worst moments become real, valuable currency here. Imagine never hiding your mistakes again. You broadcast them proudly, and the world lifts you up instead of tearing you down. Wouldn't that feel incredibly freeing? Or would the cheers eventually start to feel heavy? Schools throw full parades for the most spectacular wrong answers. Failure isn't just allowed, it's the entire point of education. By evening, the city comes alive with Defeat Galas and collapse carnivals that stretch on for days. You're not judged by how high you rose in life, but by how beautifully and dramatically you fell.
So how does a world like this even function on a daily basis?
Failure isn't just celebrated here. It is the entire economy. Not a side effect, not a consequence, but the very foundation everything stands on. Every system, every incentive, every dream built around collapse. Failure influencers are now the biggest stars in society. Millions watch them. Millions wait for their next downfall. One man's public bankruptcy turned him into a household name, richer than any successful CEO could ever hope to be. Because here, losing everything means gaining everything. There are flop funds, massive venture capital firms that only invest in spectacular collapses. They don't ask how you'll succeed, they ask how far you're willing to fall. The bigger and more creative the failure, the higher the return. Dating apps match people based on their greatest humiliations and most public defeats. Profiles aren't built on achievements, but on breakdowns. Vulnerability has literally become something that prints money. Defeat Galas are the new red carpet events of the year. Status and respect come from how spectacularly you didn't succeed.
But beneath all this glittering surface, something much darker is happening to the human mind. What does constant, never-ending applause actually do to a person over time? At first, it feels completely liberating. No more shame, no imposter syndrome holding you back. But after the 10th parade, after the 100th standing ovation for your mediocrity, something deep inside begins to rot. They demand you fail bigger and louder every single time. Authenticity slowly dies. Performance completely takes over. Success becomes the only real taboo left in society. We hide our failures in our world. They hide their successes in theirs. Which world would actually break you faster? Some still meet in secret, quietly longing for real success. And when they're caught, the crowd cheers even louder for their punishment. The cheers never stop, but the mind eventually does. Beneath the parades, the rot has already set in. Secret success is relentlessly hunted. The city engineers even bigger celebrations for every single downfall. People deliberately sabotage their own talent just to stay safe. True excellence is the only unforgivable sin left. The government keeps feeding the hunger with carefully manufactured collapses. And the scariest part? Most people no longer want the cure. While the crowds keep cheering, the foundation quietly crumbles beneath their feet. And no one dares stop clapping. We step back through the veil, leaving the parades behind. But something follows us home. In our world, we hide our failures and chase silent success. There, they weaponize every collapse and call it love. Both realities are just different kinds of performances. So tell me, would you rather be ignored for succeeding in silence or celebrated for failing in public? Which world would truly break you? If this world unsettled you, then AlterFlekt has done exactly what it was made for. Now it's your turn. Drop your biggest, most painful, or most embarrassing failure in the comments below. The rawest and most honest ones will be featured in an upcoming video. Like this video if it made you question yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe because we're going much deeper into the veil every single week. Next time you fail in silence, when no one is watching, ask yourself, would they be cheering louder on the other side?